Stop! If you find a heavy, greasy pebble sitting in a dry creek bed, a stone so dull and oily it looks like someone dipped it in motor oil, do not throw it away. I am going to show you 5 types of raw diamonds hiding in ordinary river gravel, and by the end of this, you will know how to run the wet thumb test, the ceramic streak test, using a $2 unglazed tile from any hardware store, and a specific gravity check with a $15 kitchen scale that separates real diamonds from worthless quartz in under 10 seconds. In 1990, Shirley Strawn picked up a greasy 3.03 carat pebble from Arkansas Creek gravel. She almost tossed it back. That stone was later cut to a 1.09 carat, D-flawless gem, appraised at over $34,000. But raw diamonds look nothing like what jewelry stores sell you. And the 5 I am about to describe are the ones that fool even experienced collectors every single time. Nobody was paying attention to creek beds like that one back then. The water was low, the gravel looked ordinary, and nothing sparkled. That is always the trap. In Antwerp, where I trained in the diamond district, we learned to trust density and thermal conductivity, never shine. A raw diamond fresh from the earth has no fire, no brilliance. It is heavier than everything around it, colder to the touch, and so greasy on the surface, you would swear it was coated in petroleum jelly. The geology behind this is straightforward. Diamonds weather out of ancient volcanic pipes, lamproite and kimberlite formations like the one at Prairie Creek near Murfreesboro, Arkansas. Over thousands of years, rain and floods grind the host rock to powder. But the diamonds survive because nothing in nature is hard enough to destroy them. They tumble into creek systems and settle where the physics of moving water forces heavy objects to drop. That settling is predictable, and this is where your knowledge of specific gravity changes everything. Diamond has a specific gravity of 3.52. Quartz, the stone you are probably picking up instead, sits at 2.65. In a flash flood, that density difference drags diamonds down fast. They collect in 4 predictable spots: inside bends where current slows, behind large boulders that break the flow, deep in bedrock crevices where lighter material washes over, and in quiet water eddy zones that only form after storms. Therefore, if you are panning randomly in the middle of a straight channel, you are working the one spot where diamonds will never accumulate. Think like a heavy stone, not a gold flake. Diamonds do not float or drift. They sink and stay. But the ground was keeping a much darker secret. Even in the right spot, you need confirmation from indicator minerals. I am talking about deep red pyrope garnets and tiny black chromite grains. These minerals are born in the same volcanic eruptions that produce diamonds, and they share that stubborn density above 3.1. When I see a streak of blood red garnet sand or a patch of black chromite concentrate in my pan, I stop everything and work that zone until my fingers go numb. In the Antwerp trading houses, we called these minerals the breadcrumbs of the diamond trail. Find the breadcrumbs and you are close to the meal. If you want more field guides like this, exact creek coordinates, and the tools I use in the dirt every week, subscribe to the channel now. I put out new identification guides constantly, and they go deep on locations that never make it to the internet forums. So we had the indicator minerals locked in, and that changes how you look at every stone in the pan. Let me walk you through the 5 types of creek diamonds that get thrown back every weekend across Arkansas, the Canadian Shield, and the alluvial fields of New South Wales. Number 1. The Greasy Pebble. This is the classic raw diamond appearance, and the one that fools the largest number of people. The surface is so oily and dull, it looks like someone smeared it with petroleum jelly. No sparkle, no fire, just a heavy cold lump that sticks to your skin when your hands are wet. That greasy luster develops from microscopic surface fractures accumulated over thousands of years of chemical weathering in acidic groundwater. The wet thumb test is your primary weapon here. Wet your finger, drag it firmly across the stone, and count. Diamond's extreme thermal conductivity pulls heat away from your skin so fast that the moisture evaporates in under 2 seconds. Quartz, glass, and every common imitation will stay wet for 5 seconds or longer. I mean, think about that for a second. A free test, 0 tools required, and it separates a potential fortune from creek trash in the time it takes to blink twice. Number 2, the frosted cube. This one resembles a chunk of sea glass, rounded and etched with a surface covered in tiny pits and frost marks from tumbling through gravel for centuries. But when you pick it up, it feels heavier than it should. The edges are worn smooth, and the crystal habit is gone, which is why collectors pass it by. The key is the density check. Use a Fusion digital gram scale, $12 to $18 online, and a kitchen measuring cup. Weigh the stone in grams, then lower it into water and note the displacement in milliliters. Multiply that displacement by 3.52. If the result roughly matches the stone's weight, you have a diamond candidate sitting in your palm. In Antwerp, we called this the ghost stone because it hides in plain sight among creek quartz, but its weight always betrays it. Number 3, the metallic gray dodger. This one breaks hearts. It looks exactly like a chunk of iron gravel, dark gray with a dull metallic sheen that screams worthless. But here is where the ceramic streak test earns its keep. Grab a $2 unglazed porcelain tile from any hardware store or science supply catalog. Draw the stone firmly across that tile. Diamond, being harder than ceramic, leaves absolutely no streak. Quartz and feldspar and every other common lookalike will leave a white powdery line every single time. This scrape on the rock seemed insignificant at the time. It was not. I have seen metallic diamonds come out of the Prairie Creek gravels in Arkansas, and every time, at least one person in the group had already tossed an identical looking stone back into the water that morning. Number 4, the Yellow Butterstone. This is the type that gets mistaken for citrine or low-grade jasper. It is butter yellow, sometimes with a waxy surface texture, and it feels dense and cold against your skin even on a warm day. The color comes from trace nitrogen atoms, trapped in the carbon lattice during formation, then enhanced by iron-rich soils during weathering. The fog test works perfectly here. Hold the stone between your fingers, breathe on it like you are fogging a mirror, and watch. A real diamond disperses heat so rapidly that the condensation vanishes in 1 to 2 seconds. Glass and quartz hold that fog for 5 to 10 seconds because they cannot conduct heat away from the surface fast enough. I have used this test in creek beds with nothing but my breath and a stopwatch in my head. Number 5, the clear Deceiver. This is the trickiest of all 5 types because it genuinely looks like frosted quartz. The surface is etched, sometimes showing tiny triangular pits called trigons that form naturally on diamond crystal faces during dissolution in the earth. But when you pick it up, 2 things happen. First, it feels colder than any quartz pebble. Second, it feels heavier, noticeably so, like holding a steel ball bearing wrapped in frosted glass. If you are uncertain, run the full specific gravity test. Weigh the stone in air, suspend it in water with a piece of fishing line on your scale, and calculate weight in air divided by weight in air minus weight in water. If the result lands close to 3.52, you are holding a fortune that looks like creek junk. But the history of diamond prospecting is littered with loss and drama, and the Arkansas fields prove it. After John Wesley Huddleston discovered diamonds on his farm in 1906, he sold the land to mining interests, and 2 rival companies formed. The Arkansas Diamond Company under Samuel Rayburn and the Ozark Diamond Mines Corporation under Austin Miller fought over every acre of the Prairie Creek Pipe. Lawsuits, sabotage, financial collapse. By 1912, the Arkansas Diamond Company burned through its capital and shut down. Therefore, Ozark thought they had won. They had not. In 1919, an arson attack destroyed the Ozark Mill entirely, ending their operations in a single night of fire. That same year, the reorganized Arkansas Diamond Company failed again, and a mortgage holder seized their entire stockpile of 3,000 gem-quality diamonds. Decades of work gone. The site never turned a commercial profit, and it eventually became the public park, where amateurs now find stones worth hundreds of thousands. Which brings me to the finds that prove this is not fantasy. In 2015, Bobby Oscarson found the Esperanza diamond at Crater of Diamonds State Park. 8.52 carats in the rough, shaped like an icicle, later cut to a 4.605 carat. Triolette graded D-color, internally flawless, Type 2A. That stone was initially valued at $1 million and remains the single most valuable diamond ever discovered in the United States. She found it surface collecting, no fancy equipment, and the king of them all sits in the Smithsonian right now. W.O. Basham pulled the Uncle Sam diamond from eroded kimberlite gravel in 1924, 40.23 carats in the rough, the largest diamond ever found in North America. Cut to 12.42 carats, sold for $150,000 in 1971, which is well over $1 million in today's money. The tools that confirm these finds in the field are simple and proven. A Fusion digital gram scale for $12 to $18 handles the specific gravity calculation. A Belomo 10 times triplet loop at $40 lets you spot trigons and etch patterns on suspicious surfaces. An unglazed ceramic tile for $2 or less gives you the streak test. And if you want laboratory grade confirmation without leaving the creek, the GemTrue Multi 2 DK 7000 thermal conductivity tester runs about $100 and will tell you in seconds whether your stone conducts heat like carbon or like glass. But you do not need the expensive gear to start. A wet thumb, a foggy breath, a cheap tile, and a kitchen scale will separate winners from fakes in under a minute. At Crater of Diamonds State Park in Arkansas, you can hunt with nothing but an entry ticket and a shovel. Keep what you find. No special permit required. On Bureau of Land Management public lands across the western states, casual rock collecting is allowed with hand tools up to 25 pounds per day. In Canada, a prospector's license opens crown land in the Northwest Territories. In Australia, a fossicking permit covers you in Queensland, Victoria, and Western Australia. We started with a greasy, dull pebble sitting in creek gravel, the kind of stone that every weekend prospector kicks aside without a thought. Now you know what that grease means, why that density matters, and exactly how to test it in 10 seconds flat. The next time you're knee-deep in a creek bed behind a boulder where the current slows, remember, the ugliest, heaviest, coldest stone in your pan is the one worth picking up. That is the real secret the field keeps from people who hunt with their eyes instead of their hands.